be checking out the Winnebago 28KS. This is the toy hauler of their line. We have this one is equipped with the own generator on the driver's side here. You have two slide outs, a bedroom slide out, which is your cabinets. And then you have your refrigerator, seating area there on this side. You do have your generator exhaust right down here. Further half of although I've sold out today, it's just sold out. Farther aft, you have your front stabilizers. To extend, you just push the top down. These are stabilizers, not jacks. You level the front of the coach with the front jack itself. Once leveled, you put these down to help stabilize it. Just until they touch. Farther down here, we have our water gravity fill for our fresh tank here. This is where you can add fresh water into it. You have your 50 amp 120 short cord hookup. This is made by Ferrio. You do have a blue light indicator indicating that you do have 120 going into the unit. We have our docking station, our outside light here, and our furnace. And our docking station here, we have our outside shower, our hot and cold. Our hot uses our water heater. We have our satellite hookup and our cable hookup. A black tank flush uses each time that you dump. After you dump the unit, make sure you use black flush tank to flush out any extra that's been in there to help it come out until you see clear water coming through there. I recommend getting one of those little clear sight pieces that you can put on the end, and that will help you keep a clean tank and stop the valve from getting clogged. Next to that, we have our city connection. This is where your fresh water hose would go to. Now, what you can do with this also, instead of just gravity feeding to your fresh tank, you can actually power fill by moving this blue valve to the upward position. Now, that'll take fresh water from your hose into your unit here to your fresh tank. Once it's full, go ahead and push this down. That will allow it to be just to your city faucets, like these faucets here, your water heater, your kitchen sink, and your bathroom and shower. This does get hot, so make sure you don't put anything flammable next to this here. This spot here is our refrigerator. This is the outside compartment for it, so you want to make sure that these both areas stay clear and free of debris. This is your outside shower connection. This is the quick connect song, so all you have to do is push it in until it's secure, and then you have water. By turning on the faucet. You gotta turn on the water pump for that. Since I have it hooked up to shore power, short connections. You do have your short cord here, this little piece of metal. That piece of metal lines up with this section here. So, it's nice and secure. Then you have this nice ring collar that you can lock it in place. Now this end is a 50 amp end of cord. It does have two lights on the top. If one light is out, that indicates that you probably don't have 50 amps, you only have 30 amps going into your short cord here. But if both are lit, it means that you do have power on both poles. Now this needs a 50 amp connection to go into it. I recommend getting the 30 amp adapter. When you do that, you can only run one AC and not your microwave. But when you're hooked up to shore power, you can run the microwave and AC, no problem. Further down, you got your two tires. These are 80 psi max, meaning that you will have to fill up to that point, which is the operating pressure for this unit. You have your large picture frame window on the side. Further aft, you do have your generator's gas tank and fueling station. So this here is gas for your, like a regular gas, like from a pump. I always suggest getting premium. I always suggest getting premium since the premium's ethanol rating's a little bit lower and it has a higher octane in it. So it'll pretty much last longer at the end of the day. Then we have our rear stabilizers, same as the front. Now those are down and secure. If you really won't wobble too much, you still have some sway in it, not that much. Further after, we have our fuel station, our fuel level indicator, our fuel pump. All you gotta do is turn it on, and that will get the pump to your pumping station here. My keys. You have two sets of keys. You have a gray key and a gold key. The gold key is a CH751, which is for this gas compartment here. All right. There you are. And here you do have a fueling station. So if you have the toys like the lawnmowers, quads, dirt bikes, whatever you have, you can fill it up with this here. Make sure you have this contacted to metal when filling. Then we have our rear ladder. Now our rear ladder is a little bit more special than the regular ones. You have these two pins. You pull these out, and you can actually have this ladder come all the way down, like so. Then you can place these pins back in. Stop it from lifting up, and then you can climb up on the roof. I would suggest checking your sealants about every 6 months, once in the spring, once in the fall, so you can check it after the most extreme summer and winter. If you do have a gap on the roof, like an opening, all you want to be using is Dicor lap sealant, which is self-leveling. You want to use the self-leveling brand. There's 2 brands, and just grab the color that matches your roof. Now it's up in the upright position. Now you're ready for travel. Now in the back here, you do have your toy hauler door. To unlock it, all you have to do is pull this tab forward, lift up, swing open, repeat on the opposite side. Now once that's done, I recommend using 2 people to open this. You need 2 people, but it will help you in a windy situation. Now you do have these lifts here. Now if you wanted to use it as a toy hauler to bring stuff up into the ramp, you have these pins on either side. remove the pins, lift the stabilizers up, and then raise the front end to help it get the pitch better so that you have an easier transition into the unit. Now I'm going to put this back up to party mode. So you can also use this as an outside deck as well. Now to make this nice and safe for the kids, you have these notches on the ends, unsecure. Just simply lift upward. That will lock into place. Now to bring it back down, all you have to do is lift up slightly in the center. And let it come forward. Now you don't have to worry about it falling down. It's not going to hurt too much. Now that's for both sides. And then you have two straps holding these doors. And this little latch lock latches it in place. I'll have a safe little party deck that you can go to any racing events, regular camping events, any type of show you'd like to bring this to. You have a nice personal deck for your own camper. Now this is your main side. You have a 3/4 awning on this one. You have two picture frame windows here, another one there. You have your main entry door here. Your entry door is all of the gray keys. So this one here is your deadbolt. Left to lock it. Right to unlock. And the top one just locks the door handle itself. Bring the door all the way open to bring the steps out. You have this little yellow window here. You can go left or right, doesn't matter. As long as you're all the way turned. And then you can bring that down. Now these feet do have adjustments on them. And little pins. And that will give it a better adjustment. You do have your screen door here. So just give it a little push, and you have your latch right here. And it does lock the door. And once you have the steps out, you can close the door. You don't have to worry about anything going on down here. Farther forward here, you have our water heater. This is a 2-stage water heater, meaning that it has electric and propane. So you can run it strictly off of gas or electric, which is a direct spark ignition from inside the coach. You have your two options on there. You have your drain plug over here and your overpressure part here. You have your front compartment. Front compartment goes all the way in and to the left. This little part here also latches up so you can have taller items standing upright if necessary. Also, this little door here goes into the bedroom, so you'll see the same compartment on the interior. Now we're going to go inside and I'll show you all the controls in the interior. All right, now here's our main control panel. We have our main slide, our second slide, but let me get some lights in. So we have our entry lights, which does the little hallway here, and our main lights that does all the overheads here. We have our awning lights for the exterior, and our security lights do the 2 lights on the back of the lift gate there. We have our water heater switch here, which is LP, and we have our electric water heater here, and our water pump. So our water pump takes water from the fresh tank into our systems here. We have this one here. I actually forget which one this does. This one here, there's a light over top of the entry door that this one does. This here, we have our level sensors, so our fresh tank, our battery, our black, our secondary black, our gray 1, our gray 2. Now the battery's a little low, so I'm going to use the generator to charge the batteries and to give us 120, since right now we're unplugged and I don't have our 30 amp adapter to plug us into 30 amps. So I'm just going to go ahead and hold start. Now the generator started, it's using the gas in the gas tank to run. Right here I can see that it has 0.5, which is a half an hour on the generator. I'm going to take some loads off. Now we can see that we've already gone up a third, and now we're up all the way. So now that the battery's charging and we have 120 in the coach. Now that we have all that going, I'm going to go ahead and extend our main slide. So I'm just going to hold it out. This is the SwimTech rail slide system. So to use this system, you have to keep holding the battery until the motors stop making sounds. What that does is it keeps timing in the slide ring. So you don't have it go to one side or the other. There we are, that one's out. And the same goes for the one in the bedroom. So I already put this one out, I totally forgot about that, to bring it back in for the demo. But now it's all the way out. Now the secondary slide is the one in the bedroom and bathroom. So that's that slide room right there, which is that whole cabinet face right there. So try to make sure that you don't have any tall objects sitting in that when you start to close it. Now we have our main galley here. The camera. We have our main galley. Our main galley has a dual sink. Dual top. And a single large sink, which is one of the larger sinks in all these units that I have professionally PDI'd. By the sink here, we have our switch for the light here. We have some USBs and 120 outlet here. We have some overhead storage. We have our books, manuals, and information all in this pamphlet here. So you're going to have your warranty cards, your operation manuals for your furnaces, for your trailers. Also, this has the fifth wheel and travel trailer owner's manual. So it goes over all the basics again. So if I confuse you or confuse you while going through this demo, you can definitely read through this and kind of compare everything that's going on. Also, you'll find some extra hardware in here, which is normal. This here is your mic for the radio, but there's no real spot to put this, so it's up to you to remove the radio and put this in if you'd like it somewhere. Now, the 2 lights over main look like they're out, but they're really not. Underneath the sink here, you do have your light switch for those 2 lights as well. And a 120 outlet. We have in here. These are already in there. Or not. Oh, they are. So these here are extras. I'm going to take these out because I actually replaced them with one's from another unit, so they're all in the bed lift system. We have some more drawers going on. We have our under the sink cabinetry. We have our oven, which is off of propane, and our 2-burner stove. So the center one here is going to be a high output. So you just got to make sure that your propane's on to use this. And you do have an ignition system here, so you don't need a strike match to light the gas stove. Now above me here, we have a range. We have a light on the range and a fan. All this works off of 12 volts. Now this part here is your microwave. This is just a standard microwave. And then you have your vent for the microwave and everything. In the slide room, you have more of a pantry going on next to the 2-stage refrigerator, which is by Dometic. To operate this, all we're going to do is push the on-off button here. When it's out, it's going to use propane gas. When you have it in, it's going to illuminate auto. So that's going to use 120 primarily, unless you're unplugged or have the generator off. Then it will revert to propane gas. Now you have a decent size freezer and fridge combo on this unit, which is nice. And it even has the cutout for the large milk canister that you can put in there. So you don't have to worry about running out of space. Now on this model here, if you need some warmer temperatures, just take this and move it downward. If you need some colder, move it upward. That's going to have this little guy here, so if he falls off again, you'll know what it is. This here just sits in this little back section here, towards the top, like so. So when you need to, you can bring this whole thing down, which will give you a warmer temperature in the fridge. So if your fridge seems like it's not cooling, just make sure that part is all the way in that and all the way up. The other thing is you have these two here. These are the door airing card. So all this is here to do is just to make it to where this part here goes in here, like so, and that stops all mold and everything from forming. So you have this little tab that slides in and on like so, and like so. So when you're going down the road, it might pop out, so keep in mind to close these before going on transit. But you can leave this like this when you're not using the system. And to turn it off, you just push this until the light's off, meaning it's unindented. Now, all of the benches in here kind of use the same style of setup here. These ones here are passive touch. So all you gotta do is touch the center of the lights. You have your two large storage compartments here for shelvings. We have a bench here. You have a little kit part there to bring that down. One part goes down. That one goes down. And you can bring this down. Now the next step is push that to the back and lift up on this. Now that you've done that, you can have a nice little bench for everything. You have your day and night shade here, so you can have your nice air coming in and out of this. Just remember, when it rains, definitely close these or you can get water damage into this unit. Now you do have 12 volt and 120 outlets, so USBs and 120 outlets there. Now that I'm up, to make this section into a bed, all you have to do is take these, put these in this upright position like so. That sits like that. Now you have a nice, secure bed. Do not sit or lean on this if you do not have these legs down, as it can damage this bedding system. And then to bring this all the way back up, all I'm going to do is give it a good lift. And strap it back in place. Once you strap it back in place, you can push the little tabs in to bring these down and over. Now, you're probably asking what's going on with this here. These here unlock. And you're able to lift this up. And once this is lifted up, that actually, with the slider room closed, gives you access to this tie right here. So you can strap down the quad or four-wheeler that you got. Also, if you want to, you can put a trash bin out there, make that your rubbish dump, so you don't worry about dust or anything. We just go ahead and lock that back in place. There we are. This unit does have your 4 speakers in the ceiling, your rear air conditioner and your frontward air conditioner. You have behind where the camera is, we have our entertainment center and our chair system. So we have our dual captain chairs here with a nice little podium stand. Now you can remove this. All you got to do is lift it up. Once you lift this up, you can go ahead, wiggle these out. Both of them come out, and you can store them underneath your bed there if you choose. Go ahead and put that back in place. All your blinds are just pull style blinds. These lights here are just little tap lights, so you just gotta touch them. Now we have our Insignia TV. That's this remote here. Let's see if the booster's on.
That's not.
It is. So to go through a menu scan, we're going to have the TV booster on, which is behind here. Now this does come out and move around. On the left here, you have a little booster. So as long as the green light's on, you're going to have picture, but if it's off, you're never going to get any picture. But you need that off to use the cable feature. So if you're going to have cable come in from the campground and you want us to scan for that, you can. But right now, all we have is bunny ears. Now that that's done, I'll show you how to scan. So once you turn the TV on, you make sure that you're on the TV input, and enter, hit menu, go to channels, go down to auto channel search, click the system that you'd like to use, which is antenna. Click antenna, and that'll go through its own channel scans. Now these seats here, while that's going through that, we have these seats. These can move around. So you have 2 straps. To keep it from moving around, so you push that back. Like so. Give that a nice tug like so, and that will stop this from moving around a lot in the coach. And that's with both of them. There we are. So these won't go flying around the unit when you're using it. So we have our 2 tables here. They have the same style of system to hold it in place. So we have this one and this one. You want to go across the corners. Give it a tug. That will hold this in place. Now you have a nice dinette table here, which you can sit on both sides, but you can also change this into a bed. To do so, you're going to have to remove the tables. Like so. I'm going to put these over here for now. Now to make these two chairs in the bed, it's kind of the same system as the single couch. It seems like we got channels. Now we got our channels and everything's searched. So I'm just going to go ahead and turn off the TV. Now that we have all the channels. So we're going to go ahead and just take these. Slide these in place. Bring that one down. This costs applesauce. And now we have a full-size bed here. We also have the full-size bed that's above me as well. Now, this does have the rail system to bring that up. So all I'll have to do is you have a button over here on the side. And we just go ahead and push the button. That's going to raise this bottom bed all the way up. So this is another way to raise the bed to bring all the quads and everything in, keep everything all out of the way. It's not the fastest system in the world, so if you see your kid trying to crush your little kid in there, it gives you some space, but keep in mind that it's not built to carry people up and down.
Okay, go ahead.
Alright, so now that it's all the way up, there's 4 pins in the corners. Now we pull out. Be mindful of the obstacles in the way when you have the legs down. This one is a little tough on it, so I'm just pushing up slightly on the bed. There we are. Now I have all the 4 pins out. Drop them to 1. So they got butterfingers. We're going to go ahead and just push this down. So I'm going to bring this whole top bed all the way down to about here. Try not to lose these. These are very, very important. I'd almost take and put like little bungee cords so they sit next to it almost. Now you have this bed here. You can bring this bed all the way down. So now you have like a bunk bed set up in the back here. There we are. Now, underneath the bed here, you do have your ladder. So I won't forget to take off the tape. There you go. Now you have these little edges here. They go in this bracket here. And now you have your ladder to get up and down into the bedroom here. Into the bed. Into the bunk. There we go. That's the word I was looking for. Now you do have a manual crank up and down, which is the little knobs there on either side. And the motor is the left-hand side there. So try to make sure that the kids don't play with any of those wires or anything if you have kids going up here. You have your 2 AC vent ducts there, and all the round ducts inside the unit here are all connected. So when you're ready to close her up, all you gotta do is put this back. And then you can go ahead and raise that all back up. I'll be right back because that's gonna take a little bit of time, and I don't want to waste yours. All right, now I got it all the way up. I pushed all these up so I don't hit my head on it again. On both sides, you do have fire escapes. To use these, all you have to do is pull up on these red tabs and push out. And that goes for both sides. So it's kind of just the same as a school bus then. And sometimes sticks them a little bit. Like so. And then you have your regular window back. Now, you can take these and put them down if you need just a little bit more headroom. So you have these pins on both sides. To bring these down, I'm just going to lift up on the one here a little bit. Like so. And walk it out. Like so. So now that kind of gives you the same headroom, and you can do the same on the opposite side. It's the same thing on the very other side. And all the way in the back, you do have a nice bug screen. That's just like a regular draw blind. Like so. You have 2 120 outlets on either side, meaning 1, 2, 3, 4. They're just plugs, not outlets, I mean. Then put it back in place and lift up and push forward. That's going to hold that in place like so. And you can go ahead and put these pins in. Now you do have cabinetry all the way across. This here is for the rear AC. So I'm going to set that temperature down. It's on cool. You only have cool on this one here. And then the second AC connection is right here by the hallway, which does the other one over the kitchen there. So that one also does cool there for that one. But then you can also do furnace here. So the furnace will run through all the furnace ducts that are in the floor. So they're going to be little round circles or little vents. Let's kind of see what's going on there. Okay, yes. So we have one here. So that there is your furnace. So you must have 12 volt your propane on and your propane tanks filled when using it. We have our Kingdom antenna directioner. So you can change the direction. The arrow is pointing in the direction that it's going. We have our smoke alarm here. And we have our LP detector and CO2 detector on the base there. But also down here is where all of our 120 and 12 volt fuses are. And then back here we have our bathroom. We have our medicine cabinet with toilet holder. Now the toilet holder is not installed. That's for your preference. So you can either put it on the door, you can put it inside the cabinet here, on the door here, so you can put it like so. You can put it on the edge here if you want, or in this section here, or on the wall over here. Now it's all up to you. By the door we do have our vent, which is the fan there, and to open it, we just go ahead and hold it open. It is an electric motor that lifts the vent. We got our AC ductings. Our shower. Our shower surround has rubber lock doors with magnets. We're hot and cold, and our shower head. We have our toilet here. Now, our toilet, you're going to want to make sure that when you flush, I'll say count to like 15 before closing that valve, because you want a lot of water going into the toilet to help prevent it from clogging or becoming a maintenance issue down the road. Now, we have our bedroom over on this side, so I'll meet you through the regular entrance. So this is our bedroom. Our bedroom light switch is here. So that gives her 2 lights. We have our bathroom door lock, so that locks that in place there. But then you can bring that in that way for your privacy, so when you're sleeping. We have our corner cabinets on both sides. Now that corner cabinet there is that outside compartment cabinet. So right there is the door to that outside compartment. And then you have his and hers reading lights on both sides. And all you got to do to use it is just push in the face of it to have the light come on. And then you have your nice overhead storage cabinet here. You have some more light in here. You do have a hookup for TV, so if you wanted to, TV hookup would be on the ceiling there, on the left-hand side-ish. You do have your cabinetry, so it's a pretty deep cabinet, his and hers. And then you have some stackable cabinet. Now you can move these up and down if you choose to the level you'd like. And then you have 2 drawers. There is 12 volt and 120 outlets, I believe, on his and her side.
Yep.
So you have USB and 120. Now underneath the bed, we have our 12 volt disconnect. So if you want to disconnect the battery, you can do so here. That'll turn off all 12 volt into the coach. So the generator is still going to stay running, but the ACs and everything are going to turn off, which are fine. Right now, it's not charging the battery now with that off, but everything's running because of the converter. So if you went ahead and turned off the generator, the converter would stop operating. And then you have a little bit of storage spot there, so don't worry about opening up that. And then last but not least, we do have our radio, which is on the left-hand side of the entry door. This radio is a Jensen touchscreen radio, so if you wanted to, you could hit radio. That'll give you your radio. Just trying to catch a good time. So you have your sound bars connected. You have a subwoofer over top of the microwave. You have your 4 speakers in the roof. And then you have 2 speakers outside above the awning there. Now if you long hold the knob and push it in, that'll turn off the radio completely. Now the sun's going down a little bit. We have our awning extend and retract. So there we go. I just hit holding extend. That's bringing our awning all the way out. Does that have lights? Oh. awning lights are on the rail, so you have lights all the way up here.
Got it.
And I'm going to retract that. Now, I also recommend checking your seals and the tops of your slide tops every time before you end up closing them to check for debris and branches and things, leaves that are on top. I'll recommend taking a little broom with you, so if you want up on the roof, you can just brush off the top of the slide top before retracting it, so you don't damage your slide top or seals. You can buy some slide top or seal conditioner and dressing in our store, and that will help maintain the seals on your unit for its lifetime. Now, there's one thing I want to show you too. Give me a few minutes to kind of shut down some of the things going on here so you can hear me a little bit more clear. Alright, now with the slide room, I'm going to bring this main slide room in to just demonstrate why they have that cutout in the slide room. So now, let's say you guys move these captain chairs farther forward and remove the tables and everything. You had 1 quad, 2 quad, you have 3 quad. You actually could probably nose it around to have another quad in here. And we need another spot to have a toe strap. There we go. We have our accessibility to the toe strap here, so we can strap down our equipment properly. And it's almost wide enough, I'd say, for my Honda CBR right here. And that pretty much covers everything. The only thing I'll suggest, oh yeah, dumping. We gotta go over dumping. So I'll meet you back outside at the dump station area. Alright, there's 2 things I did miss. We do have an LP connection on the outside here. So this is a quick connection that you put onto here. Once you have your quick connect on, all you have to do is turn this black handle here in line with the LP line, and that will give you flow of gas through this system, as long as you have your propane in your propane tank and have the propane on. You do have manual cranks on both jacks. For the jacks, they're right here, so if the electric motors were to fail, you can manually run up the jacks themselves. You have your front tongue jack. You have your light here for the tongue jack. Your extend and retract. Your 2 propane tanks. These are 30-pound tanks here. Turn these to the right to close, turn them to the left to open up the tank, and it has a switching valve in the front. So that's over here. Let me borrow this from you. So right here, this says source on it, so if you're using this tank, it's going to be pointing to that. Turn it to the left side there, and that allows it to come from this tank. Here, let me get that back. We have our Group 24 battery and our battery bank here. We have our jack fuse, so if you amp out the jack, the fuse is underneath here to replace that if you need to. These little tabs here hold that little bad boy down. You have your breakaway, your 7-way, and your chains. 2 5/16 ball with a standard pitch. You have our generator right there. I forgot the keys, I'll be right back. Now I got your keys. Kind of super loud again. So the Bauer key is the gray one. That's going to be the keys for the generator here. Now here's your on-in generator. It's a 5500, so it's 50 watts. Sorry, 50 amps. We have our off-on start here. So this is a 60 amp. So So you have two 30 amp breakers here. If these are both in the off position, you won't have 120 in the coach. So make sure those are to the on position. You have an oil drain here and an oil fill here. So you can open that up and check the oil level, especially when it's cold. Now it's a little warm. That's all you really need to know, except for this here is also your air filter. There is a break-in period. I'll consult your manual for that because every model is a little bit different. And I don't want to give you wrong information. Now this lid goes on that edge here, and you just push it in. It has two little knobs that it holds on to. And then you have your two locks to keep all the campground out of your unit. Now our dump valve is right here. This is where you dump your unit. Turn that to the left there. Grab it right here and a left over here. So I fill this with water. So there we are. Plug it out. So you have your hose mat and that's to the dump station. Blue from the system coming in. And from the axle, we have a fresh tank drain right there. So that's for our whole freshwater system, meaning the fresh tank itself. And that's all the valves on this unit. This was probably prepped for a secondary gray, a secondary black, but they didn't install it, but they gave you the same type of sensor on there. So that's probably why it's primary and secondary, because I'm not seeing a primary and secondary valve. So it just has a gray and a black holding tank on this unit here. And that's all that we have on this unit.